Good evening and welcome to the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education reception honoring newly tenured teachers, principals, and a couple special recognitions. As this is a public meeting, I do need to dispense with a few things. First, I'd like to call the roll. Dr. Kulikowski.
Here.
Mrs. Cleary.
Here.
Mrs. Winkler. Mrs. Bauer. Quorum is present. Would you please join me in the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for some opening remarks. I introduce our superintendent of schools, Dr. Margaret Hayes.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehouse. Welcome. Tonight's board meeting is among the most joyful, as this is the night we celebrate our teachers and administrators who are achieving tenure. We are also honoring Cole Weber, a senior at SPF High School. Cole is the recipient of the Bob Scott Award, which recognizes a high school player who truly honors the game of lacrosse. As we get started, I would like to acknowledge our PTA Council and the PTA leadership for their support. They have generously supplied tonight's refreshments, so be sure to enjoy some apple cider and cookies. The Scotch Plains Family Public School District is very proud of its teachers and administrators. Teaching is the one profession that creates all others. Teaching is complex, demanding, and essential work. It requires not only keen intellect, but also vast amounts of patience and resilience. Teachers need to know their subject matter, but equally how to communicate it so that others can understand. In a world that is constantly changing, educators are the quintessential learners. Teachers and administrators must have boundless energy and be ever optimistic. Effective educators may not know about their influence or impact until years later, or even if then. But that influence or impact on their students is the unspoken part of their calling. The 27 teachers and 4 administrators that we honor this evening have demonstrated that they have what it takes. We are thrilled that you have chosen to be part of our district and trust that you will be with us for many years to come, shaping the lives and inspiring generations of students in the future. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank all of the people that stand behind those educators, because each and every one of you sacrifice in your own way as they spend countless hours focused on their students, the planning, the work, the grading of papers, the writing of reports. You're there in the background filling in every time they have to attend to all that is school. So my thanks to each and every one of you for helping and supporting them to be the fine educators that they are. Congratulations to all of our newly tenured staff. And now I'd like to turn the microphone over to Mr. Trip Whitehouse, President of our Board of Education.
Hi again. What a special evening. Tonight we have the pleasure of celebrating some of our district's finest examples of excellence and achievement. It's not often where in one night we recognize administrators, teachers, and a special student. While the upcoming resolutions will mention individual accomplishments, in each case the achievements were met through the help of dedicated friends, family, and colleagues. We have a special school district here in Scotch Plains and Fangwood, and it is because of folks like you that we do. So, starting with our newly tenured teachers, congratulations. After 3 years, countless meetings, multiple evaluations, and 4 back-to-school nights, you've made it. Through your hard work and dedication, you have earned your place amongst the tenured staff here at Scotch Plains Family. Tonight we celebrate this milestone. In Jack Kerouac's book, On the Road, he writes, he was a teacher, and it may be said that he had every right to teach because he spent all his time learning. As we stress lifelong learning to both students and staff, I ask you to please continue to model this by continuing your own journey as lifelong learners. Although we're recognizing each of you for meeting and exceeding the standards we as a district have set, let us not lose sight of those who have been here, who have been there with you these last few years. To echo what Dr. Hayes says, and one of these years I'll go first in my speech so she can echo me. I'd first like to thank your principals, supervisors, colleagues, and mentors. It's been through their help, guidance, and dedication in assisting you to be the best that you now stand before us. I'd especially like to thank your loved ones. Thank you for sharing our honorees with us and our children. We appreciate the evenings and weekends that have been spent preparing lessons, grading assignments, or attending district-related functions. And finally, once again to our honorees, be proud to know that Scotch Plains Family is a better district for having you with us. Keep up the good work, and thank you. Now, I'd like to call up Board Member Mrs. Jean Cleary to read the resolution.
Good evening. Whereas the mission of the Scotch Plains Family Public Schools is to educate and empower our community of individual learners to be successful citizens of the world. And whereas the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education will always expect exceptional performance by staff, will always hire only the most qualified candidates, and will promote the maximum performance and achievement of every student and staff member. And whereas the following teachers and administrators are deserving of receiving tenure in the Scotch Plains Family Public Schools this year. Runner School, Heather Tarantino, Brian Rossenberger. Coles School, Rashida Adams. Evergreen School, Jamie Socha. School 1, Jacqueline Mack, Christine Mills, Laura Munson. Park Middle School, Kyra Blair, Allison Eicher, Diane Golita, Lauren Lukac, Elena Sherratt, Heather Soma. Terrell Middle School, Christina Hill, Greg Hillman, Matthew Ritter, Scott Rosenberg, and Michael Wilczewski. I'm not sure I butchered that. Scotch Plains Family High School, Janet Burkett Scassifero, Mark Fabiano, Randolph Kotzner, Erin Sasserman, Robin Stados, Melinda Toto. Special Services, April Chasang, Maureen Connick, Kaylin Taggart. Administrators, Noel Baxter, Deborah Belfield, Brooke Casca Esposito, and Diane Panino. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates these newly tenured teachers and administrators and offers our support and best wishes as they continue to diligently work with our students in the Scotch Plains Family Public Schools.
And now at this time, I would ask that Justin Fury, principal of School 1, come up along with Jacqueline Mack, Christine Mills, and Laura Munson.
Thank you. I want to start off by congratulating all of the teachers and administrators being recognized tonight. This is just another event that shows how special of a place Scotch Plains Family is. Each of the teachers from School 1 who are being recognized tonight are unique and special in their own way. Last year I was able to get to know Jackie and Laura and couldn't be more impressed with them both. Jackie is our library and media specialist, works with every student in the building, and has truly instilled a love of reading in all of them. It takes a special person to be a kindergarten teacher, and Laura Munson is just that. Just this week, a new family to our district came to see me to tell me what a great experience their son is having. I'd be remiss not to thank Mr. Bortnick. Fortunately, over at Runner School, they were down a section this year, and because of that, we were fortunate enough to get Miss Mills. So I was able to steal her from Runner School, and she is our new 4th grade teacher, and she's been an absolutely amazing addition to our school. I know that these 3 amazing individuals will do wonderful things for many years to come. I wish them all the best, and I look forward to working with them in the future. Thank you.
Scott Bortnick, along with Heather Tarantino and Brian Rosenberger.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Good evening, everybody. Congratulations to all those receiving tenure this evening. This is a beautiful event that our district puts on. This is a huge accomplishment for everybody that's here. Heather, it's a huge accomplishment for Heather. Heather's had a couple of different positions while working at Brunner. She started as a pre-K teacher, and from the first time that I was able to go into her classroom and see her, I saw somebody that was able to engage 3- and 4-year-olds in conversation with one another about specific content, which is amazingly complicated and requires a great deal of patience, structure, and organization. Justin said earlier about how special a person has to be a kindergarten teacher, and I was a high school biology teacher. You do not have to be a special person to be a high school. Sorry, high school biology teachers out there. Heather is a truly special and gifted teacher. She is unbelievably organized, incredibly thoughtful. Her planning is beautiful. Her implementation in the classroom is amazing. The work she does with kids, with content, with teaching independence, with their self-monitoring and self-regulating, it's really quite amazing the things that she's able to do with her children. And it is an unbelievable gift to Brunner School and to Scotch Plains that she is here and that she has received tenure is a testament to her abilities and her work. So congratulations to you. I'd also just like to say congratulations to Brian Rosenberger, who wasn't able to join us tonight, but we should all applaud for Heather.
So no matter how we try to plan, there are always scheduling conflicts, and we are actually in competition tonight with a very special event conducted by the New Jersey Principals and Supervisors Association. And Colleen Hobart, the principal of Evergreen School, is actually at that conference along with Dr. Evans. So pitch hitting for Colleen will be Scott Bortnick, and at this time I would like to ask Jamie Sosha to come forward.
I've been a principal this is my 5th year as a principal. In that time, I have lost quality teachers to School 1, as Justin mentioned. I have lost quality teachers to McGinn. I have lost quality teachers to Evergreen. And I was sad to hear that Colleen wasn't going to make it, but super excited when she did ask me to speak about Jamie. Jamie was a lead replacement teacher for me 4 years ago. At Brunner, and she did an amazing job. I'll just give you a quick snapshot of the kind of person that Jamie is and why we are all fortunate that she works in this district. There was a student in Jamie's class who had a lot of anxiousness about school and about how kids perceived her, and the parents were very concerned about her having a new teacher in the classroom. So you should just come in and meet her. You will feel a heck of a lot better. Your daughter will feel a heck of a lot better after you meet her, and they did. Midway through the year, the little girl was required to have classes, and she was very, very concerned about coming to school and what the other kids would think of her with the classes. And Jamie went out and purchased glasses for all the other kids to wear in the classroom. So when the little girl came to school the next day, everybody was wearing glasses. That is a special person. That is a Hallmark-esque kind of moment. That is somebody who gets kids, who knows that their affect will affect everything else. She cares deeply about her students. I was super excited that we found her home in the district. I would have liked that home to have been Brunner School, but that's okay. I share, and that's fine. So it's wonderful that Jamie's here. She did do the year as the lead replacement, so she's actually done a 4-year tenure process, and she does anything for her kids. She gets tremendous results from them, and she's a real asset to Colleen. I know that. And Colleen was sad to not be here to speak on your behalf, but like I said, I was super excited to do it. So congratulations, Jamie.
And at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Sasha Slocum to come forward and Rashida Adams from Cole School.
Thank you, everybody, and it's an and it's an honor to be here in this position as well tonight. I'll wait for Ms. Adams to come up. I'm so excited to be able to present one of my parents from my school, and someone who I know is a super person with kids because she has 3 fabulous sons who are here tonight with her husband as well. So thank you for sharing her with my school, but also with our district in this special way. We are very fortunate to have hired Rashida Adams in the district. This is Ms. Evans, Dr. Evans' comments for Ms. Adams. She came to us with an extensive background in elementary education and joined Cole's School as a resource teacher. Already, she has worked with most classroom teachers as an in-class support teacher or as a pull-out replacement teacher for reading, writing, and math. She has graciously jumped in where needed and worked with grades 1 through 4. For 2 years, Ms. Adams attended the Orton Gillingham classes after school, earning certifications in this area of prime importance. Ms. Adams is known for her great smile, enthusiasm, and commitment to reaching every child. Her professionalism and ability to design materials and plans that help facilitate student understanding are well known. Her sense of humor is calming to all, and she always projects the voice of reason. It is a pleasure to celebrate the tenure of a valued colleague, and Dr. Evans and I look forward to celebrating again with the staff of the faculty meeting on Monday. So congratulations.
And at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Jocelyn Dumaris to come forward, along with the teachers from Park Middle School who are being recognized this evening: Kira Blair, Allison Eichert, Diane Kavita, Warren Lukac, Elena Sherratt, and Heather Soma.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. And once again, just wanted to echo all of the administrators who have said that we're just so happy and pleased and honored to be here honoring all of you tonight. And I was really excited to be able to speak tonight. Lisa Rabinus, the only thing that would keep her away from her Park family, as she loves to say, is of course work. And she is actually on a work trip out on another district, so she can come back and make her Park family even better. So tonight we are honoring first Allison Eichert, who was part of the inaugural Math Explorations program. And when I asked John Benninger, the math supervisor, to say a little bit about her, he said that she's such a thoughtful, reflective, but also rigorous educator that really does everything for her students. And not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom, she's heavily involved in so many activities, one of them being an environmental club. I remember last year, 2 years ago, she would make sure that she went to environmental club and then come over to the high school and come to the second year roundtable events so that she wouldn't miss anything. So Allison's just a really wonderful person to have on staff. Next we have Elena Sherratt over here in the end, who is both a special education, and I like to think of her as part of the English department as well. She's the type of special education teacher that every English teacher would want in their classroom. She could very easily pick up an English lesson, but she also cares so deeply about the students and their individual success. And she's just also such a wonderfully positive person with a great sense of humor, and I love having her as kind of a part of the English department. And finally, we have Heather Soma, who is a language arts teacher at Park 8th grade. And Heather is the perfect combination of someone who loves reading so much that she just makes it impossible for her students not to love reading, but also someone who's really going to make the students prepared for high school. I was just in her classroom recently, and once again, she's just amazes me with her ability to make things really rigorous, but also make kids feel like they can rise to the challenge of the rigor of 8th grade and 9th grade too. I would love to talk about Kira and Lauren and also Diane, but they're not here, but I think we should join in a round of applause saying thank you for them and thank you for these wonderful little ladies.
And now at this time, I would like to call up Dr. Kevin Holloway, and along with Dr. Holloway, Christina Hell, Greg Hillman, Matthew Ritter, Scott Rosenberg, and Michael Wilczewski.
Again, congratulations to everyone. So the newest members of the Terrell All-Star team. Christina teaches 8th grade language arts, and her passion for literature is evident every day. Her theater background comes out and is evident in the classroom, and it helps all kids enjoy and want to learn literature. So thank you for that. Greg comes to us from Brooklyn, and when I interviewed him, I'm like, he can teach in Brooklyn, he can teach for me. So he is an amazing math teacher, and if anyone knows me, I don't have an affinity for math, but every time I get to your classroom, I learn something new. The interesting thing about Scott is Scott was a part of a panel of candidates that we were interviewing when we expanded our language arts program. And I was flipping through his credentials, and he went to school where I taught. So he was in middle school when I was teaching. So yeah, I never thought I would have a student, but he wasn't my student, but a student in my school. But Scott is an amazing writer, and he's an amazing language arts teacher. And Mr. Ritter. So Mr. Ritter is kind of a traitor because he left us and went to the high school, but we still love you, Mr. Ritter. And Mr. Ritter loves birds, and so he knows that I hate pigeons, and he also knows how I feel about birds in general. But Mr. Ritter is an outstanding science teacher. Like, his passion for science is just enormous. His energy permeates his classroom. We miss you, but I wish you well at the high school. And then we have Mr. Wolkozeski. And we found Michael literally, I think, a few days before school opened. And Michael has evolved into an amazing writing teacher as well. His passion for writing comes out every day in his classroom. His love for technology is transferred to his students. So I want to say thank you, Michael, to all that you do to keep our writing workshop alive. So to each of you, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, I do the very best I know how. I do the very best I can, and I will do so until the end. And I know that you will do that with your careers as well. Congratulations.
And now it's my privilege to call upon Dr. David Heisey, Principal of Scotch Plains Family High School, and the following teachers if they're present: Jeanette Burkett-Scasafaro, Mark Fabiano, Randall Ketzner, Aaron Sassamans, Robin Stavis, and Melinda Toto.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the newly tenured teachers in all of the buildings. I'm going to start with, we'll go maybe by department, Mr. Ketzner. Mr. Ketzner is a member of our language arts or English department. Mr. Ketzner teaches a variety of courses at the high school. Specifically, he teaches Advanced Placement English 3, that's the AP class for juniors, as well as English 2 for sophomores. The AP class is a very difficult class. Basically, it's teaching a college level class at the high school level. A very challenging course to teach. Mr. Kester does an outstanding job. His rich knowledge in literature helps him and helps the students, and he provides the students with an outstanding education. Also, as he advised with the Gay Straight Alliance, Mr. Kester provides a safe and positive environment for the high school. Congratulations to Mr. Kester. Melinda Toto is a member of our Health and Physical Education Department. Ms. Toto she is an outstanding role model for all of our high school students. And in addition to the many courses she teaches in both health, which is in the classroom, and physical education, she's also our varsity cheerleading advisor. So that is both a fall and a winter commitment, and she is at the high school 24/7 because whether it's basketball, wrestling, football, or whatever, the cheerleaders are there, and Miss Toto is there, and it's an outstanding squad. So congratulations to Miss Toto. Erin Sassman, member of our Social Studies Department. Ms. Sassman currently, she teaches United States History 1 and United States History 2. But her rich knowledge would allow her to teach pretty much any course at the high school. She engages the students in rich discussions. She is an expert in the utilization of technology and transferring knowledge to students through her knowledge and technology. And this year, with some student interest, Ms. Sassman started the Women's Empowerment Group at the high school, once again contributing to the positive environment at the high school. Erin Sassman. Robin Staybus is our favorite media specialist. Through her love of literature and extensive knowledge, the Media Center has truly become the hub that connects all teaching and learning at the high school. Ms. Staybus started with us as a social studies teacher, I won't say how many years ago, but it was more than 3, that is the years for tenure, and she left us, much to our sadness, to pursue a master's degree in library science, which she did. And for our benefit, Ms. Staybus returned to the high school as the media specialist. She has done so many things. Just to highlight one, she has started a lunchtime book club for staff and students. And as the other teachers I mentioned here, she's involved in the school community. She advises the Model UN, which is a very popular club at the high school. So congratulations to all of the high school teachers.
And now at this time, it's my pleasure to bring forth Mrs. Linda Edwards, along with April Chastain, Maureen Connick. Unfortunately, Kaylin couldn't be with us tonight. We'd like you to come up so that you can be recognized.
Good evening, everyone. I want to congratulate all the Scotch Plains Fenwood staff that have earned tenure this evening. The Department of Special Services is recognizing 3 individuals this evening, one of whom is not here this evening. Maureen Connick, I'd like to start with, is a valued member of the Special Ed Department as a speech and language specialist. Prior to her employment in Scotch Plains Fenwood, Mrs. Connick worked for NBC. She decided after 8 years on Law and Order Special Victims Unit that she wanted to pursue a master's in speech and language pathology. Ms. Connick is one of 2 speech therapists at School 1 Elementary School. She works closely with students exhibiting speech and language difficulties. Congratulations, Ms. Connick. April is our school social worker, and she's a member of both the preschool and elementary school teams. She's a proud graduate of Scotch Plains Fenwood High School and the district. So she has a thorough understanding and knowledge of the complete district and the needs of the students in the district. She is also the anti-bullying specialist, and she runs social skills groups and is a member of the INRS committee. Congratulations, Ms. Chastain. I also wanted to recognize Caitlin Taggart, who is not here this evening, but I wanted to recognize her for her dedication and commitment to the school district.
And now at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Joan Mass to come forward, along with Noelle Baxter. Diane Canino couldn't be with us tonight because she's with Mrs. Ravindas on a site visit to the Lewisburg-Tona School District in New York, where they're off learning all kinds of things about how to improve programs to bring it back to our schools. So we miss Diane tonight, but we are really happy Noelle is here.
I too would like to congratulate everyone who's being honored with tenure this evening, and particularly at this moment, it is with confidence and joy that I join our community in celebrating Noelle's tenure. Noelle provides leadership in a crucial area of our curriculum. As our district social studies supervisor, Noelle is passionate about teachers and learning in social studies. Noelle believes that her content area provides the key for students to learn about their social, cultural, and physical world and their own place in the world. Under Noelle's leadership, the district social studies classrooms provide a place for our students to investigate the multiple aspects of our society and apply their knowledge and skills to make informed, personal, and social policy decisions. It's complicated. Additionally, Noelle has a commitment to help all of our students and our community to think like social scientists. If we bring a problem to her, she will encourage us to see a situation from all possible perspectives in order to truly understand a given social phenomenon. We can't go to Noelle for her to tell us that we're right. This ability to see a given situation from a 360-degree view makes her a go-to person for many. Her good thinking has made significant contributions to the district's new teacher roundtables and our mentoring program. We are also proud of Noelle for her leadership role at the state level. She serves as the president of the Social Studies Supervisors Organization. Join me in celebrating Noelle's tenure. As Dr. Hayes said, Diane Nino cannot be with us because she's out learning in another district, and I'm sure that other district is also getting good feedback from Diane. But Diane has the daunting task of overseeing all curriculum areas for special education students. She is a strong advocate for both students and teachers. She ensures that special ed classrooms have the resources necessary. She has been instrumental in the iPad initiative for special ed classrooms. Diane's analytical approach to problem solving and her ability to stay focused makes her an outstanding project leader to move programs forward for our students. I'm truly proud that the district is awarding Diane tenure this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Mack. And now I would like to ask Dr. Heisey to come back forward and Brooke Casta-Esposito to come forward.
Thank you again, Dr. Hayes. So, best way to start is to say every principal needs an outstanding assistant principal, and Brooke Esposito represents that person. Brooke Esposito has too many responsibilities to mention at the high school. I could go on, but it would be one of those things where I started and would fall to the floor. And on any given day, Ms. Esposito is asked to make many difficult decisions, and she's not shy or scared to step into or to tackle many of those difficult decisions or situations. She has positively changed the culture of the high school in so many ways, and for so many reasons, but one of the main reasons is her positive energy when dealing with students and staff, parents alike. With difficult decisions, she is still highly respected by students, staff, parents, and other administrators. Brooke Esposito has outstanding judgment. Often I will be wrestling with a decision, not sure which way to go. I will ask Brooke Esposito, what are your thoughts? And what decision would you make? And I've always respected her advice when I have sought it. And she has been an outstanding addition to the high school, and I truly believe she has an outstanding future as an educational leader. Congratulations, Brooke.
And now it is my honor to ask Mrs. Deborah Belfield to come forward. Mrs. Belfield is the director of our Human Resources Department, and we're really happy to have her. So it is my honor to celebrate Mrs. Belfield's tenure. As the Director of Human Resources, she has supported not only every staff member here that was tenured this evening, you can all give a wave to her, because she onboarded every one of you, but she also supports every staff member who is part of the SPF family. And that means everybody, from maintenance to custodians to aides to teachers to secretaries to the superintendents. She supports us all. Behind the scenes, human resources is a complex and demanding area of school operations. It requires knowledge of incredibly complex laws and regulations, but as she attends to those details, she also works with people in the most compassionate and supportive manner. So we are indeed fortunate to have her as part of our district, and we are pleased to celebrate your tenure with us. Congratulations. Kira Blair, could you come forward? Come on up. We're glad you got here. Come on. That's okay. Better to be here. Go ahead.
So sorry to come in at the end again, but I noticed that Kira Blair had come in late, and I would be absolutely remiss not to honor her tonight because she's been such an important part of the Language Arts Department at Park, and also the development of our writing workshop program. We got Kira, and she had left New York after a pretty lengthy career, and she had already had writing workshop experience and brought so much expertise, and we really relied heavily on her to develop the program and make it what it is today. She combines so much warmth, but also so much rigor in her classroom that it really wouldn't have been possible to get this program up and running without her. So thank you, Kira. Congratulations.
And now I would like to ask our principals to come forward again. Dr. David Heisey, Mrs. Lisa Rubinbus, we know is not here, Dr. Kevin Holloway, Mr. Scott Gordon, Dr. Evans in absentia, Mrs. Hobart, who is also in absentia. Dr. Slocum is here, and unfortunately I think Justin had to leave. So, but those of you who are here, please come forward. And I'd like to ask Nancy Bauer to read a resolution on behalf of our principals.
It's my honor to read this resolution. Whereas the National Association of Secondary School Principals and the National Association of Elementary School Principals have declared the month of October 2014 as National Principals Month. And whereas our schools inspire the next generation of professionals, political leaders, artists, educators, and others who contribute to the healthy and prosperous society, principals are responsible for providing instructional leadership and professional management in our schools. Whereas principals set the academic tone for their schools and work collaboratively with teachers to develop and maintain high curriculum standards, set performance goals and objectives, and ensure high-quality instruction. And whereas principals are dedicated to their students' ongoing academic and intellectual development, principals work to provide positive support systems to empower their students and to give them the right tools they need to succeed. And whereas school principals are responsible for the safety of their students and staff and the security of their schools, principals maintain student discipline, carrying out a philosophy of discipline that includes setting high standards and providing the support that students need and demanding the best of them. And whereas principals are key to implementing state and federal education reforms in New Jersey, and whereas principals lead the way in making schools accountable to students, parents, the community, and stakeholders, each principal is responsible for fostering a dynamic partnership between the community and the school in order to create a positive learning environment for our students. And whereas the month of October has been declared National Principals Month and is dedicated to recognizing the significant contributions of our nation's principals and the enthusiasm that they have for providing quality educational experience and guidance to their students. And whereas the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education recognizes and appreciates the skills, dedication, and commitment of the Scotch Plains Vanwood principals, and the challenges they face daily. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Vanwood Board of Education recognizes and commends the contributions of our principals, Dr. David Heisey, Mrs. Lisa Rebimbus, Dr. Kevin Holloway, Mr. Scott Bortnick, Dr. Debbie Evans, Mrs. Colleen Hubbard, Dr. Sasha Slocum, and Mr. Justin Fiore for their continued service to our children.
And at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Karen Kulikowski to come forward, and I'm going to ask Dr. Kevin Holloway to come on back up here. Come on up, because we have a very, very special resolution to read on behalf of Dr. Holloway this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Hayes. Whereas the New Jersey Principals and Supervisors Association has announced that Dr. Kevin Holloway, principal of Terrell Middle School, has been named Visionary Leader of the Year at the secondary level, and whereas the purpose of the New Jersey Principal of the Year program, Rewarding Visionary Leadership, is to recognize outstanding elementary, middle, and secondary public school principals who have successfully provided high-quality learning opportunities for students, and whereas Dr. Holloway has been recognized for improving the school schedule at Terrell Middle School, which supports an enhanced advisory program as well as a writing workshop and math explorations courses. And whereas in addition, Dr. Holloway has worked collaboratively with his staff to institute innovative initiatives such as Heroes Program and the Check-In, Check-Out Program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Vanwood Board of Education recognizes and commends Dr. Kevin Holloway on being named Visionary Leader of the Year by the New Jersey Principals and Supervisors Association and extends our best wishes for his continued success. Congratulations.
So, as the assistant superintendent many years ago, I had the privilege of doing the site visit to the South Brunswick Public Schools to see whether or not we could hire Dr. Holloway in our district. It was an amazing day to watch him interact with not only his fellow teachers, but most importantly the students, who couldn't say enough positive things about him. And it was on that day that I came back and I told Dr. Choi, we have to get this young man into our school district. I was so grateful that he came on board as our assistant principal at Park Middle School, and Park still misses him to this day. He and Mrs. Rebimbus created incredible synergy between our middle schools. And then when we had an opening at Terrell, it was our great hope and honor that he would be able to move on. And he's done an exemplary job of leading Terrell Middle School. So Kevin, thanks for all you do. I know you have many, many wonderful years ahead of you as an educator, and we're very, very proud of the fact that you're with us and all that you accomplish day in and day out on behalf of our students and our community. Thank you.
I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but when I first found out that I was receiving the award, I really didn't get the magnitude and the depth of what this was all about. And when I was in Washington, D.C., and I was walking toward the U.S. Capitol for my congressional visits, I realized, wow, this is really a big deal. And it was at that moment I realized that I had the opportunity to speak for all the principals in the state of New Jersey, all the teachers that work in our public schools, and all the kids who attend our schools every day. And I want to say thank you to my assistant principal, Mr. Girache, for believing that I deserve this honor, and to my former PTA president, Mrs. Ellen Geisel, for supporting the process as well. But a visionary principal doesn't do the work on his own. I am surrounded by an incredible, amazing group of professionals whose excellence and dedication to education is evident every day. And many of them are here tonight, and I want to say thank you for everything that you do, for every kid that enters and exits our building. So thank you to you. But Terrell's not a great school just because of the teachers and because of me or Mr. Javache. It's a great school because we have great parents. We have parents that support the things that we do. But more importantly, we have amazing children. Their commitment to education is outstanding. They come to school every day because they want to learn. And because of that, my job is a bit easier. But I stand here today because I have an amazing family. Some of my siblings are here tonight, and I want to say thank you to them. Thank you for all the tussles growing up, because those are lessons in and of themselves as well. But growing up, my family, we were very poor. And sometimes when my siblings and I get together, we laugh at the fact that we were so poor that we didn't know how poor we were. But for all the things that we lacked monetarily, my first teacher, my favorite teacher, my best teacher, gave me some things that I can never put a price on. And so to my Nana, she's really my mother, but we call her Nana, that's another story. I say thank you for teaching me to work hard, to persevere, to always show care and compassion for others, to always be thankful for my blessings no matter how small. So for every floor that you washed, for every toilet that you scrubbed, I say to you that I love you and I thank you.
And now it is our pleasure to honor one of our students. This is why we're here. And so we saved our student to the end of the program because we all need to remember why we come and do what we do every day. And so with that, I would like to invite Cole Weber to come up and his coach, Marcelli, and our assistant principal for athletics, Mr. Ryan Miller. And I would like to have you come up at this time. Also, we'd like Amy Winkler to come forward so that she can read a resolution.
Whereas Cole Weber, a senior at Scotch Plains Stanwood High School, has been named the recipient of the Bob Scott Award. This award recognizes a high school senior player who truly honors the game of lacrosse. And whereas the Bob Scott Award is named after Bob Scott, who served as the men's head lacrosse coach for Johns Hopkins from 1955 until 1974. Coach Scott compiled a career record of 158 wins and 55 losses, winning 7 national championships. Coach Scott was inducted into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame in 1977. And whereas the Bob Scott Award recognizes a high school senior player who truly honors the game of lacrosse, the senior must be an exceptional player who invests time to develop the game in his community, is an exemplary member of the team, embodies the spirit of the game on and off the field, and is a valued academic role model within the school community. And whereas during his sophomore year, Cole received all conference honors as a goalie. In his junior year, Cole was nominated by his coach, Nick Maselli, for the Bob Scott Award, a year ahead of the award specifications due to his exceptional leadership and athletic ability. And whereas Cole was diagnosed with lymphoma the summer leading into his junior year, throughout his recovery, Cole spoke to numerous patients and groups about recovery and his will to succeed. And whereas Cole overcame cancer and started nearly every game in his junior year, earning all conference, county, and state level honors, including the NJ.com poll for best goalie in the state of New Jersey. And whereas during the summer of 2014, Cole was honored as the New Jersey winner of the Bob Scott Award, as well as the recipient of the Eastern Region of U.S. Lacrosse. Cole also led the SPF lacrosse team to their first conference championship in national history. Now therefore be it resolved that the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education recognizes and congratulates Cole Weber for these outstanding achievements and extends to him best wishes for continued good health and success in all future endeavors.
It's difficult to figure out what to say about Cole because his mom and dad and sister may disagree, but I've never seen Cole down. I've never seen him sad. I've never seen him angry. Whether we won a game, lost a game, whether he got pulled out of the game because he wasn't having a good day, even including the message he sent our trainer, hi Miss B, that lump, it's cancer. And that was his delivery of it because he's such a positive and amazing young man. And on the other side of it, we have a basket of food that's kept in the trainer's office for students who may get some low blood sugar. And every day that Cole comes in, we say that Cole feeds the planet because Cole brings something into that basket every day. It's who he is, it's what he does. There's no one more deserving of this. And just to keep in mind, there are 4 region winners for the Bob Scott Award. There are hundreds of All-Americans. It's a shame more people don't know what this award is. But we congratulate Cole Weber. Nick Maselli is going to talk better about him tonight.
First of all, congrats to all the newly tenured teachers and staff. This truly is a great place to teach, work, coach, and just a great place to be. I have a lot here. Probably not going to do as much. My speech is not going to be anything compared to Dr. Holloway, so I'm going to let that one go. Talk about Cole a little bit. As a freshman in 2012, he was our starting goalie. If anyone knows sports, especially our sport, goalie is a position you don't want to be. When someone shoots the ball, everyone gets out of the way besides him. Getting him to play goalie that freshman year was a struggle with mom, but it ended up working out for us. As terrible as it sounds, along with his teammates, we like when Cole gets hit, because that means the ball's not going in. Again, sorry, Mom. Yeah? 2013, like we had just said, was a great year for him. As a 10th grader, it led us deep into the state playoffs, getting all state, all conference awards. That summer was supposed to be a summer for Cole college recruiting showcases, playing in front of potential college coaches. And like we had just said, I got a call in mid-June. Hey coach, hey Cole, I got cancer. You have cancer, out of the blue. That was a tough summer. So instead of playing in front of these college coaches and in front of potential schools for him, he spent the whole summer battling cancer. And it was a weekly thing, going to see him, playing Xbox, watching movies, eating a lot of food. But it was something that I think made us closer. And always positive. And you think cancer, you think of somebody sick. I've never seen somebody gain 20, 30 pounds after battling cancer. Now, if you ask his mom, the nurse, she'll attest it to the steroids. I gained 10 pounds just going to see him, So it really was a summer that brought us together. And not just us, but the high school, the whole community, the town lacrosse program. You can't go a single day in one of the elementary schools or the middle schools seeing a kid wear a Cole Crusader shirt. Everyone really rallied behind him. We now have a game, an annual game with Cranford called the Coles Cup, which is dedicated to him. We played down at Old Bridge this year in front of almost 5,000 people because a player on their team was going through a battle with cancer, and they wanted us there because of Cole. So 2013, now 2014 happened. For someone who had cancer, came back, battled through it, led us to the best year possible. Like we said, winning our conference, being an all-state player. If you ever come to our game, you see one of our shirts we have on, everything says family on it. and it really embodies that. I think having Cole, him battling cancer, it really shows, guys couldn't complain about doing a sprint or staying an extra hour during practice or doing stuff in the off-season months. Because we had a teammate who was battling cancer. So are we really going to complain about little things? So he really showed us, how special it was for him to be part of that team. So, like we said, we've had our all-state meeting. We voted on our all-state players, our all-Americans. And I knew it was a year too early, but I put Cole up for it. And, the lacrosse guys don't mind to break rules sometimes. They said, who cares? And he was a unanimous choice as the Bob Scott Award winner. So, with that being said, I'm happy I have an extra year with him this year, but I'm sad that this is his senior year. So, one more time, we congratulate Cole.
Before we end and have cookies, and the board will be taking leave to start their meeting, I just have a couple closing comments. One, Cole, I was at the township meeting last year when they had recognized yourself and the Crusaders. At one point, I thought we had changed the Raider colors to lime green. That was the color of old Crusaders shirts, and they were all over. I did read up on the Bob Scott Award, and I think it was, as Mr. Miller said, it's a big deal. There are a lot of All-Americans. And All-American, people wear that badge with honor. There's hundreds of them, I said. But New Jersey, there's 4 Bob Scott winners. That's a big deal, not only for your success on the field, but your perseverance off the field. Well done, congratulations. You represent our communities with such grace. It's certainly appreciated and well deserved honor. Thank you. And finally, where else but in a ceremony for the Principal of the Year in New Jersey? Who else but the Principal of the Year in New Jersey could, in pitch black, 8 o'clock at night, get a marching band to play in the background while he's giving a speech? Dr. Holloway, I've heard lots of good things about you. My children went through the school that you were the principal, and holy cow, a marching band while you speech. How you were able to pull that off, I'd nominate you next year again. In all seriousness, congratulations and well deserved. The things you bring to our learners in Terrell, as do all our principals. I mean, you, as you had said, were the one who was recognized. We do have a fantastic group of administrators. It's so nice to see that a well-deserving one is recognized. And I'll end it with, as I was following your path in Washington, I do believe you're maybe only one of 3 people that have gotten their picture tweeted out with Senator Booker, who didn't need to be saved from a burning building or actually shoveled out of the snow. So that alone, I think, is worth something. Again, congratulations to everyone. This has been a wonderful night. This is one of the 3 or 4 fun evenings for board members during the course of the year. And the other 300. I meant as far as being able to recognize and welcome our new tenured staff. When we get to then add a recognition of our so dedicated administrators, and again, when we love to have our students recognized and to be able to speak about them, and when someone comes before us in our community, like Mr. Weber, gosh, what else could you ask for as a community of how we're represented? So So, again, please enjoy the refreshments. Board, I would ask for a motion to accept all resolutions, please.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'd also like a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Folks, the board's going to take leave. Enjoy your cookies, and thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Scotch Plains Family Board of Education Open Agenda Meeting. Today is Thursday, October 16th. Prior to meeting in this room, the board did meet at 7 p.m. for a tenured teacher recognition, as well as to recognize our principals for National National Principal Month, as well as a student, Cole Weber, who received the Scott, help me someone, the
Bob Scott.
the Bob Scott Award for lacrosse for his contributions both on and off the field, as well as Dr. Kevin Holloway, our principal from Terrell Middle School, who was recognized as Principal of the Year for New Jersey. Because of that, we did formally open the meeting at 7 p.m., so we've done the roll as well as the Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll skip over that. Prior to meeting here in this room, like I said, we had the public portion as well as an executive session. In the executive session, the board went over a personnel report, a couple legal matters, as well as the HIB harassment, intimidation, and bullying report. In accordance with New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law, notice of this meeting has been provided to the Borough Clerk of Fanwood, the Township Clerk of Scotch Plains, the Scotch Plains Times, as well as the Patch. As far as additions to the agenda, I see 6S field trip requests. There are 2 additional ones. One BUS, there's an addendum on staff training. 10 BUS, a construction order change order. It's asterisk, so we'll be voting on it. 11 BUS, award of a transportation bid. The bid opening will be taking place in another week, as well as 12 BUS, acknowledgement of bus evacuation drills. Do we have any other additions to the agenda? Seeing none, then in accordance with policy 9322-R, we'll open the meeting for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board, we just ask that you step to the microphone, provide your name and the town you reside in. This will be the first of 2 opportunities to address the board. Seeing no one rushing to the microphone, we'll close this portion and go on to committee reports. Do we have any committee reports tonight?
Yes, we had a wonderful, and I just realized that I got so involved in the new tenured teacher that I left my notes in the car, but we had a wonderful curriculum meeting on, I guess it was this week. Tuesday. And we looked at, one of the things we looked at was the district assessment report, which you see on the agenda we'll be having at the next meeting. We also have done, I believe I saw the book here, a recommendation for History Alive, which is a new book for 7th grade. And we heard a lot about the positive things related to that book. They considered a number of different books, but the additional rigor in this book, and not only what did it cost less, but it also had more online support for both students and the teachers. And the teachers have been using some of the materials already, and we're actually very eager and very hopeful that we'll approve this so they can actually get the books, because they had some advanced materials and they really, really liked them. And the students also seemed very positive about this book. And committee members, help me, there was one more item.
Dr. Heisey combining the business
yes, that's
courses.
right. We have some exciting new courses. Thank you, Dr. Kulikowski. We had we used to have Business 1 and Business 2, and Business 2 really was primarily focused on spreadsheets and so forth, and there really was more interest in Business One. So what they're looking to do is combine those two, so the students are still getting what they would have gotten in Business Two, but also bringing it, Business One had included things like PowerPoint and so forth, so they're going to bring that up to date, and it will include Prezi and different kinds of updated things in Business One and combine it with Business Two. But the other exciting piece was some changes to the television production courses, and there's a lot of interest in those electives, and so they were, the recommendation, which I believe everyone saw in their materials, was to add a half-semester course, so we'll have 3 half-semester courses now, and we'll still have the 1 full year course that we have had. And it's updating the courses as well, so that they're, because TV production has changed, it's digital, and there are lots of changes, so it was updating the courses, but also looking at having an advanced digital course.
Thank you, Ms. Bauer.
What did I leave out?
That was it. That was remarkable.
No notes.
Well done.
I'd say no issues if you leave your notes in the car every week. If that's the banging report you're going to give us, that'd be great.
Mrs. Sherman.
There was one thing that
Yes.
I think we should include too, that we're looking to bring the students to do more with the TV and have them find positions with other places where they can start learning this with other people in the industry. So it's not just about being in school, it's about taking them outside and having people that are in the business show them the real life way of doing things and how it's really done outside of being in a classroom, which I thought was
And that
great.
relates to our strategic plan, I think, in terms of moving to as many authentic experiences as possible. And we did discuss that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other committee reports? Seeing none. The instructional update was basically the hour that we spent prior to this meeting with the recognition, so we have no letters to the board. Let's jump down to superintendent's report. Dr. Hayes.
Thank you. At this point in time, we do not have any out-of-district placements to approve, which is good.
Keep going.
Stay tuned. At our next meeting, I will be asking the board to affirm and approve our submission of the New Jersey Quality Single Accountability Continuum, that's CUSAC, Statement of Assurance for the school year 2014-15. We do this each year. Every 3 years, we're monitored on-site. In the alternate years, we provide the state with the Statement of Assurance. 3S tonight, I'd like to share with the public and with the board the first rollout of our district goals. At our last meeting, you approved the strategic plan, and as part of that plan, annually, we set specific goals. And so tonight, I'd like to briefly review those. Dr. Mast, I think I'll do it from here. We always have an anchor goal, and our anchor goal is in the area of ensuring that we meet the performance targets for our district under NCLB, the old No Child Left Behind. And so in that area, we will be creating site-based objectives and action plans so that our students will acquire the Common Core state standards, knowledge and skills, and these will be measured by the PARCC assessments. Our second goal under our anchor goals will be to develop student growth objectives. Each teacher in our district develops 2 of these to guide targeted academic support for students. And then in line with our strategic plan, under the first area, technology, learning management, and communications, we have 3 goals for this specific year. We will be developing grade 1 to 4 report cards for implementation into our Power School student management system during 2015-16. If we're able to accomplish that, that will enable us to align the elementary report card with Power School so that the following year, our goal would be to open the parent portal for the elementary students that the middle school and high school students' parents now have access to. The second goal is we're in the process of implementing the Google Apps platform. Dr. Mass can add anything to that we'd like to hear about, but this gives us a wide range of applications for our students to use in their day-to-day learning. And there are also excellent teaching tools that are used in connection with the Google platform. And thirdly, we are going to implement a PowerSchool coordinated email application. Currently, when we send emails out to parents, it's done through the setups that have been navigated by our PTAs. And this will enable us to have a direct email application so that separate from Honeywell, where we keep that for emergency notifications, more routine announcements can be made through that setup. It will also enable us to target emails to smaller groups as needed. Occasionally we get, for example, the police department will say, there's going to be a street closing right around the time of dismissal. It doesn't warrant a Honeywell alert to the whole district, but it does for the schools that would be involved. So this will be a welcome tool under the guise of increasing our communication capabilities. In the second goal area, facilities, safe and secure learning environment, under Mrs. Saradaki's leadership, we'll be inspecting all interior doors in the district and develop a strategy for replacing them where needed. We'll also develop a timeline for door replacement. We'll be determining the needs for additional security cameras throughout the district and creating a plan to move forward with those additions. And we'll also review the coordination of room numbers and building maps to improve building signage to clarify room access. Under Goal 3, Early Childhood Initiatives, we will be exploring teaching goal strategies for use in the kindergarten assessment and establishing a pilot program in 2 of our schools, Evergreen and Brunner. We're very grateful to the administrators who are taking the lead with that because that initiative helps us to fine-tune the kind of curriculum work and the assessments that we do with our early childhood learners. We're also going to assess the district's need and capacity for full-day kindergarten. Under Goal 4, Authentic Learning Experiences, following up on what Mrs. Shermer said a few moments ago, we will be working on implementing professional development for problem-based learning. We have also applied for membership in the Tri-State Consortium to capitalize on professional development related to problem-based learning and assessment. Tonight, we have actually 2 of our administrators off on the first foray into that. They are visiting with the Katona-Lewisburg school system and doing a site visit there to learn from them in terms of what they're doing to improve their district. So this gives our administrators access to going out and visiting in depth districts that are similar to ours, that are facing some of the same challenges, but also have found solutions that we can benefit from. And lastly, we'll be within the district developing lesson study groups that will engage our teachers in improving their ability to improve instruction. Under Goal 5, exploring partnerships with colleges, business, and government, we're going to expand the use of Naviance as a tool for career exploration for high school students. Currently, we use Naviance in the college selection process. We want to expand the use of Naviance. We will create a grade 8 module for the STAR, that's our advisory program in the middle school, which will utilize the New Jersey Career Assistance Navigator. And finally, we will be investigating virtual field trips that will align with our curriculum at the elementary level and implement these in grades 2, 3, and 4.
Very good. Any questions on the goals?
They're very exciting.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sound like a lot of work.
Yes, but that's, we have to, it is, and we have to work hard to keep things moving forward. So that's 3S. I hope that you'll be able to approve those goals at our next meeting. 4S, we will be asking for the textbook adoption, as noted tonight, the grade 7 social studies textbook, History Alive, and we'll also be asking the board to affirm the changes to the high school program of studies in the area of business and television production. At our next meeting, I will be reporting out on our October 15th enrollment. We just completed our upload to the State Department, our October 15th hallowed day. And we'll be reporting out on all of that information. And 6S, I will be asking for the board to approve a field trip for Coles. The Coles students will be traveling to the Lenape Village in Waterloo Village in Stanhope. This aligns with their study of New Jersey history. Runner fourth graders are attending the South Orange Performing Arts Center for Math Magic. Our Terrell Italian classes will be visiting Calandras Italian Village for a tour and lunch in Caldwell. And our 8th grade Spanish classes at Park will be attending the Union County Performing Arts Center in Union City, and then they will be going to the Rumba Cubana restaurant to experience authentic Cuban food while they practice their language skills. And finally, tonight, I would ask that the board approve the personnel agenda as reviewed in executive session.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments on personnel? Mrs. Saradaki, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkle? Mrs. Cleary?
Yes.
Mrs. Shermer?
Yes.
Mrs. Warner?
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer?
Yes.
Mr. Whitehouse?
Yes.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Moving on to the business functions, Mrs. Saradaki.
There are 4 that I'd like you to vote on this evening, but I'll go through all of them.
Let's go with the ones we're going to vote on first,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
1 BUS is approval of the staff training on the superintendent's report dated October 16th, 2014. 4 BUS is acknowledge receipt of the 2015-16 tentative budget calendar. 5 BUS are related services through private vendors. It's a one-to-one aid at ECLC in the amount of $3,019.84. There is one more. 6 BUS is a school nurse's evaluation rubric that has to do with from what I understand, the teacher evaluation system. This brings us a way to evaluate nurses, and the contract is at a cost of $25 per school, $200. And 10 BUS, which is on the additions to the agenda, is a construction change order for the roofing. They needed to do some carpentry work on soffits, and the total cost with the materials and labor is $4,410.34, and that's at Evergreen School.
Can I have a motion on those items?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments on any of those items? Then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now these next items are going to be voted on next meeting, so as you go through them, if anyone has a question, let's just jump in and ask it while Ms. Saradaki's addressing that particular one. So with that, go ahead, Ms. Saradaki.
Okay, 2 BUS will be the acknowledgement of receipt of the disbursement listings for various bank accounts. 3 BUS is the receipt of the security and fire drill reports for September 2014. 7 BUS is asking for your authorization to it's not competitive contracting, that's the wrong, it's a
Professional
services quotes, in order to obtain and evaluate proposals for architectural services for the installation of windows at Coles and Evergreen School, which would take place next summer. 8 BUS is the receipt of the board secretary report, treasurer of school funds report, and budget adjustments. 9 BUS is the bill list. 11 BUS is award of a transportation bid. This is a route that we had to add quickly, and so we quoted it until we were able to bid it. So this route is currently running under a quote which you previously approved, and we went out to bid, and we should have those results next week. And 12 BUS is the acknowledgement of bus evacuation drills. The first of 2 sets of bus evacuation drills took place September 13th through October 16th.
Okay, are there any questions on any of these items for Ms. Saradaki? All right, between now and the next meeting, if you should have any, just please reach out to her as per normal. Thank you, Mrs. Saradaki. And moving on, we have nothing under board policies. New board business, does anyone have anything they'd like to bring forth for a discussion on an upcoming agenda? Then other board business, request to attend workshops. Any workshop reports?
Yes.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Warner.
Yes.
A report or a request?
A report. I attended on Saturday the bargaining at the table, and it was very good. We covered many of the mechanics of bargaining and the options therein. Again, the use of data, comparable data, and recommendations on how to structure the negotiations and the timing of your proposals, how to make proposals. So it was great.
Thank you. Thank you for taking a Saturday for the district. Anyone else for any workshop reports? Okay, at our next meeting, we will be reading a resolution on American Education Week. Start boning up on that resolution. Anyone who would like to read it? We'll be asking approval of our minutes for the September meetings, the 2 public as well as the 2 executive sessions. Brings us to our second and final public portion of our meeting. In accordance with 9322-R, that policy, we will open the meeting for public comment. You know the drill. Seeing no one, we'll close this portion and move on to the good of the order. Does anyone have anything for the good of the order?
We have nice new artwork.
I was noticing that, yes. It's always nice to have something new to draw our eyes to and the audience eyes away from us.
Was the earlier festivities filmed, or?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He was there.
Okay. I thought I saw a camera.
That was all over it. We appreciate you coming out early for that too, actually, Matt. Thank you. Anyone else for the good of the order?
This is a change in date, right? From
Yes.
what we had announced.
Yes, so given that our next public meeting will be next Thursday, October 23rd here, Candidates Night, we had been saying that it would be held October 20th. There will be a Candidates Night on October 20th. It'll be the Township Council's candidates. So in deference to our council members who are running for public office, the PTA Council who sponsors the Board of Ed Candidates Night, as well as the candidates were all gracious enough to make themselves available for the 27th. So it's still on a Monday, it's just 1 week later. Candidates Night, October 27th at the high school auditorium. So hope to see you out there. And then that's at 7:30. Okay, so anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? See you on the 23rd, folks.